How are you all? It's Wednesday the 10th, and as you can see we are still in Peckham spring water mode. So if anybody don't know what that is, shoot it up, tap in Peckham spring water, and look at an episode of Only Fools and Horses. Well funny. Anyway, you can see that the water is still pretty green. It's not still pretty green, it's green again, because after 3 days I've added the second dose of acriflavin 1%. Now that's as per the recommendations, but you can give up to 10 treatments. I mean, I can't remember what this bottle was for 250ml, but it's not cheap stuff. So and I don't want to keep them constantly on it, because that will be for what, 30 days? 3, 6, 9, yeah, 30 days. So it'd be a month's worth constantly of acriflavin if you did 10 doses. That's by my maths. Anyway, so I'm doing 2, and I've got to say, and I'll spin you around, they're looking a lot better. I mean, that's that one I was really worried about. Now, the water went relatively clear after, well, from Sunday to Wednesday. This was quite clear. The green tinge had gone, so I really should have shown you then, but I wanted to get in here and I wanted to drop the filter of water, get it back filled back up, and then put the acriflavin in, as opposed to putting the treatment in then dumping it, because that would just be a complete waste of time. So back to this fish, the one I was really worried about, that was really seriously veining, and it's looking a lot better, so I'm a bit more hopeful now. The one with the one where the scales at the back had gone, that's now curling up already, so I'm fingers crossed, they're looking perky. I'm pretty confident it's not a bacterial infection, so that's good. I just think, like on my last video, I think I've just left small issues for a long time in cold water, which become bigger issues. And I'll give you another example. If you was to have an injury to a foot, for example, your foot, and then you keep that, you don't dry your foot, treat the injury, stuff like that, and you keep it then moist and cold, and obviously bad bacteria and stuff can get hold of your skin and you can create big issues. And I think basically that's what's happened with mine. I didn't get to the minor elements first, and if I remember right as well, this one had it first in my main pond, and I think my method in my madness was to bring those ones in here so I can treat them in warmer water last year. In fact, there was in here, so then they ended up in here. So as you can see, they are looking sprightly. That's the one that had red on its side, look, and it's still a little bit red, but it's looking better. And the good thing is, its skin is looking flat again. So where the scales were like raised and popping out, the body, it's now flat. That's the promising thing. So yeah, fingers crossed there. Peckham spring water is on the go again, and then that's it then. I'm going to leave them to it. What I want to mention is, by God, is this collecting some muck. I'm having to drop that because of the algae and whatever's collecting in there. I did that Sunday, and I'm in here Wednesday night, and I've just done it. Crazy. So there is a bit of algae on the walls, and obviously this no more blanket weed, with the infusion of natural minerals, enzymes and additives, it keeps working. So it's obviously really getting to the algae now and making it into like a little bit sludgy, if that makes sense. So I left this on again for a good 30 minutes, bubbled the whole lot, and there was all green up here, like sludgy type stuff. So I'm hoping now the UV's off, because I've got acriflavin in, so the UV's off, but the water was absolutely green with algae. So I'm hoping that that is going to bugger off soon, because that's really getting on my tits, I've got to admit. I mean, and I can see why people do then opt for a drum, because yeah, it's electrical then, and I'm not so keen on electrical stuff, because the more stuff you have that's electrical, you've got more chance of it failing. But it would, your cycles, you'd up your clean cycles, so it cleans on top of that. Whereas at the minute, I can't. So I'm hoping that by the time we get to May, June, that is not going to be bloody chock full of algae and stuff, and just chock full of fish shit and waste. Because at the minute, what it's doing is, it's collecting a fine film on the mesh, on the actual steel grill, stainless steel grill there. And it's just clogging up too quick. For every 3 days, so I'm dropping that twice a week. Crazy. Which means I'm topping this up twice a week and using twice as much Seachem Safe, so on and so forth. And I really want to be doing that only once a week, and then maybe in the height. I don't mind in the height if I've got loads of food going in, but I haven't. It's getting fed once a day, 30 grams, and then I'll probably give them another 15 grams of hand feeding when I'm in. They're still looking bloody marvellous, and I'm getting my Sunnybank koi delivery this Friday. So in this video, cut into this section in a minute, you will see my tamasaba, which I bought it just because it just interests me, if I'm honest with you, and it'll be a love and hate topic. So yeah, just of interest. And the Kuro Goshki Maritain, got a Maritain spot to one side, and then it had a bit of Benny on the body. So I'm looking forward to see how that is, because I only seen a photo of it, so I should have maybe asked for a video and stuff, but anyway, I didn't. Hope I'm not disappointed, but you will see. So this thing, just before I leave you with the next section, is UV's off. The SO heat pump, it was 18 degrees in here yesterday, this water. So what I did, I turned this up 3 degrees to 17.7. When I came in last night, this morning, it was about 14 degrees outside, and the SO heat pump on the inlets was just full of frost, really full, and it was struggling. So I don't know, I just don't know with that, guys, I really don't. And at the minute I've turned everything back on, and it's actually calling for heat, 17.2, and it wants to reach 17.4, and it's 17.2. And I've been in here a good, well, it's probably been on now since I've cleaned everything, about 15 minutes, and it's not gone up once yet. So yeah, I'm gonna have a look at that in a minute. There's my little coffee filter I've just put in. We're kicking the filters up again. I know I'm going over old stuff again, but it's worth getting one of these, because look at all that crap that have ended up back in the pond and in my filters. Unbelievable. Look at the debris in the bottom of there. So look at these. I keep saying this is so easy to maintain. I can't. I'm really, well, I'm not yet, but I am thinking, shall I ditch the Easy Pod and get an upright and get a sieve? Would the sieve be easier to clean? I don't know, because like I say, that's really getting on my tits. And that pressure filter as a mechanical filter, then going over the shower, is doing absolutely spot on. Look at that. There's not much debris in there, and it's just dead easy. It takes me about 5 minutes to clean that, plunging it and everything. I don't know. Right, I'm just going to show you now the air source heat pump, because that hasn't gone up. So now I'm wondering, the doors need a paint, if it's not bloody kicked in. And if it has kicked in, why isn't the temperature going up? Wait, it's on. So yeah, all of this was absolutely full of really deep frost. The condensate's obviously the bottom of it's, you know, working. I did have the hose connected, but I disconnected it. So it's on, blowing. Woo! Yeah, it's on. Calling for heat. The heat's on. But I don't know why. See what the ambient temperature is. (17) pool temperature. Outside temperature is 12. So that's probably what it was earlier. Yeah, no restrictions or anything, so I'm just going to sit with this now for about 15 minutes and hope that that 17.2 goes up to 17.3, because that's running at 600 watts an hour. If that's 600 running for an hour and it's not, temperature's not going up, it's obviously faulty, isn't it? So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'll come back and I'll update that temperature on there, see what that's doing, and then end the second half of the video with the new koi. And they will be going into there. So these 4 have got to come out of here and we'll go into there. Fingers crossed, I don't inherit no problems. Oh. There's that one now, look. Looking loads better. So we're still here and everything is up and running. The air source heat pump, I'm just not sure about this unit, you know, I really don't know. I've got it set to 17.4. It's two within that target now, so it's just gone off. It was at 17.1 and it's raised it now to the temperature. So yeah, I think it was on 17.1, 17.2, and it's now 17.3, but it's took a good 30 minutes to raise it just that 0.12 degrees, a point, you know, 0.1, or, you know, let's call it 2 maybe. I've measured the temperature on the outlet of the air source heat pump. It's about 1.5 degrees difference between the inlet and the outlet, and it's running on about, turning this over about every hour or so. So I don't know. It has raised temperature, like I say, of 0.1, 0.2 degrees, but it did take a good 30 minutes to do that. But probably 10-15 minutes before that, I was running the tap water in, wasn't I? So, and that would have definitely been below 17 degrees. So maybe I was on to counteract it as well. So maybe if I weren't putting water in at the same time, then maybe it would have raised it to that quicker. The temperature in here is 15.6. So it's 15.6 ambient temperature in here. Pond temperature is now 17.3. Air source heat pump kicked in from the controller at 7.1. It is now 7.3. So, and that's 7.3. Yeah, so jury's still out. But it's, like I say, it seemed to be struggling to hold 17.3 when it came on. So at the minute it's not going to, with the temperature outside being about 12 degrees at the moment and 15 indoors, it still seems like this is robbing too much heat from here. I just don't know. So if you have got an air source heat pump, guys, or a mini air source heat pump, what's your air source heat pump? What can that achieve in terms of temperature uplift? So if you left it on for 1 hour or 30 minutes, what would it be able to raise? What temperature would it raise of your pond? And obviously this is 5,000 litres. 5,000 litres. So that's raised 5,000 litres by 0.1, 0.2, not 2 degrees, about 2 degrees in about 0.2 degrees in about 30, 45 minutes, somewhere like that. What does yours do? Is that normal or not? So is that what you're likely to achieve at 600 watts? So that's running at 600 watts and it's raised the temperature 0.2 degrees in about 40 minutes on 5,000 litres. Answer on a postcard. Well, came in the koi house this morning as you normally do. I've managed to cut that tree down. That stump that was covered in ivy and the top half of it fell into next door's garden, so I was doing that. So I was all prepped to do that. My lawnmower's bloody packed up, as you know, so I'm having bother with that. I've borrowed one. And I bought a chainsaw. Went to Lidl to try and get the replacement mower, but couldn't find the model I wanted. They didn't have it, so that was it. I bought a chainsaw instead so I can cut that tree down instead of paying somebody. So a lot of that waffle. Let me spin you around, because I've come in the koi house this morning and there's just something a bit weird about it. You know, you come in, you think, what's going off? All I wanted to do was drop the filter. I thought, drop the Easy Pod, and I was going to clean it because it's Sunday. So I was just going to put it on the bubble, go back and have my cup of tea, but that didn't happen, and I'll tell you why. That's why. So this is the pump that I bought from, I switched from outside to in. Now, so drop the Easy Pod, as you normally do, and went to, I noticed there was some water in here, so I put the air on, didn't bubble. Thought, hang on, what's going off? Have I turned something off? Well, there's no other line, it's just a T there. So anyway, pump. The obviously pump had a meltdown. So disconnected it electrically, had a good look, and it's absolute carnage in there. So anyone that's probably got one of these EA pumps has probably been through this before. It's literally two motors, and obviously the magnetic, and this is a magnet inside, and it's just two differential, I don't know, magnets. So if you've got two magnets, you've ever put them together, but then you put them opposite and they don't quite touch, this feels like similar to that. So what this does is it just pushes this from one side to the other, so it drives the diaphragm. Quite simple really, as you can see. So anyway, I'll leave that there for now. So anyway, took that off, and you can see straight away there was bits of rubber in there. I've had to give it a bit of a clean up now, and there it is. So that's where the diaphragm should be, sitting here, and that just clip bolts on to the side. Now looking these up, and this is what really cheeses me off about suppliers, and I think EA a British company, pretty sure they are, could be wrong, but anyway, they absolutely have our pants down for stuff like this. Looking on the internet and things like that, I can't see a diaphragm on its own without all this crap. So in the kit for the 95, it costs about 55 quid for a kit, and you get that, two of them, and obviously you get the diaphragm, which that is, or part of. So there's the diaphragm, oh sorry, you can't see. So there's the diaphragm there, so that would have been there, and that basically, you pull that off, and this part literally would sit in there. You put that back on, and then you bolt it through onto the 4 bolts here. Job done. Simple as that. Oh no, hang on a minute. You take that off, and that goes on first, because that's in there, look. So you've got like the diaphragm in the middle, this part, so it'd be like this. So I think that there, the diaphragm sits, oh God, this is hard work with one hand. So looking at that alone, that diaphragm sits in there, look, like that. So I should get if you want to get a diaphragm like that, that's rubber. So imagine that in one piece, like that. That's the diaphragm, that's all you need. You don't need that, you don't need that. All you need is that. And then that new one, you'd pick it up, you would sit it in there, and then that, you'd bolt that onto there, you know, you'd push that onto there, and then that, then you'd bolt that over the top so it all sandwiches together, and then that just pushes on there. But looking at the kits, you don't get that on its own. You don't get that on its own. You get that for 55 quid. And I think for those two as a kit, for the two in the kit, those two and the two diaphragms in one kit for £55, ranging from 55 to 60, is a bit of a rip-off, to be honest with you. And I think if it's a British product, you should just be able to buy that for about, what? I mean, what does that cost? What is it costing them for that? How much would you expect to pay that? £8 at the most, £9.95 at the most. I can't see it anywhere yet. I could be wrong. I could be slating this for for no reason. Some might need to replace this if they become distorted, or these seals are blown inside of here, or, you know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you're best to buy the old kit and just replace the old lot. But looking at mine, it looks in, everything else looks in pretty good condition. There's no splits or anything like that. So for me at this point, if I had a choice, there's no splits in there, look. So for me at this point in time, I would just replace the two diaphragms. But it's looking like I have to buy the old kit. Anyway, so I've had to just drop the water, clean it out. No, just hose it down, I can't bubble it. But the media inside, as you notice there, is not too bad anyway. If anyone's not seen these media covers, you can get them from Sculpted Layers. SculptedLayers.com. Absolutely brilliant, still doing mint they are. And the fish. And to finish, it's Sunday. Friday I got a phone call for my koi that were incoming. There was two incoming, unfortunately. They didn't want to send them, I was totally honest with them. One of them had got trick. They found trick on it, so they wanted to treat it, and they're going to keep it for a few weeks. And then they're just being totally honest with me. So a bit disappointing, but I appreciate the honesty. It really does go a long way, that does. They did a scrape on the fish and they found, like I say, trick on it. So you've got to appreciate that. It did disappoint me, you've got to appreciate it. But James the Koi Whisperer, he recently got some new fish and it's wreaking havoc on his pond. Now, like he says, he's not directly correlating it to the fish he's got in, but it's coincidental. Whether it spurs off some sort of reaction, stress reaction, or whether it brings parasites in, nobody likes to say. Now, you know, but in this example, if that koi dealer had thought, not checked or gone, send them, I would potentially be getting a bad fish, because it might deteriorate, it might get stressed, and then that's that stress factor that brings problems in your own pond. So assuming that fish arrived on Friday and they hadn't checked, I would 100% have trick in my system. Now for me, it was going to go in here with another one. It was going to go in here on its own. So potentially I'd have been okay, because what you should do in an ideal world is new fish, you scrape them, check them under a microscope, put them in your QT. You find parasites, you contact your dealer, you tell them, you want to inform them that you found parasites on it, and they might knock you something off, they might pay for your treatment or something like that. And then when they're in the QT, you treat them. So if you get a relationship with your dealer, it works out, you know, can work out for you, because we all know and we need to understand that these things happen. Parasites coexist with koi. So, to conclude, the fish didn't come, and that's the reason why, but hopefully they'll come in later on in the season. I've got to now search for a bloody couple of diaphragms for that, because this is completely obliterated. Now, I don't know why they've gone at the same time, but all I can assume is, looking at this, if one goes and perishes, then there's a weakness in there. So it's not got the equal pulling and pushing on each side. You've got an imbalance, so one's going to, that's what I'm thinking anyway, because one side's going to become loose or nothing there at all. Then it's going to weaken and blow the other side. So that's why I think they've gone literally obliterated like that. So now I've got the worrying time of waiting, because I've got no air pump now. I've got a spare in my greenhouse, I'm sure of. I can't find it, a big green one I had. I used to have it in this corner with my with the two setups here, with these two little, I used to have two tanks. They're in the garden now, a spare. Right, so I'm turn this off now. Whack that off. Turn this one on to that black line, and then I put the pump, this one first. It helps if you turn the inner off. I've not put my centre thing in this time, I forgot. Bit of air coming out, so it'll bring the crap up. I'm going to put that in anyway now. There we go. So what I do want to show you on top of this week's video is, look how clean this moving bed is. You see, well, it's dragged the water into that corner because I've drained it a bit. But look at that. You can see the discoloration in the water. It's had the acriflavin treatment. As you can see, there's a bit of a, like a tannin type colour, but that's the end of the second treatment of the acriflavin coming up. So it's time to put my UV back on, I think, in a few days. So I just wanted to show you. I popped my head in here this morning expecting a lot of debris, to be honest with you. But look at it. Absolutely spotless. Look at that. Beautiful. Nothing in there at all. No sediment, no crap, no nothing. So absolutely made up with that. So with a negative, there's got to come a positive, surely. So the positive taken out of this one is, thank God that's happened now. Thank God it's happened while I'm here and I'm not on holiday in the summer, because I'm going on holiday again. I'm going on holiday in August for a week with a family. My two are coming with us as well, so all of us are going. So I've got to hope to God that that week everything runs smoothly. Now, if that was just ticking along nicely, then this happened that week when I'm on holiday in August with this indoors. That week, what I will do, I will leave these two windows open, leave these two double doors open, and then put the mesh down and leave it fully open so it's fully blowing. So it will be cooler at night, to try and, you know, because indoors, that's my only concern, is in a hot summer the air content indoors is going to be lower because the water temperature is going to be warm and it'll be hot in here. So yeah, you know, what's the temperature going to be in there? And then one for the fish. Let's have a look at the fish. So the second dose of acriflavin was, it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what's that, 5 days ago? The fish are looking good. That one was one of the worst with the red on its side. And as you can see, it's looking a lot better. Like I said on in the video, the skin now is flat. The scale is no longer protruding. And that one, which I was really worried about, the veining now is subsiding, so hopefully it won't come back. Who knows? Now, acriflavin on the bottle, it does say you can treat up to 10 times. So I've treated it twice, so I could do this another 4 times. 3 times, sorry, another 3 times. Which, with how much one bottle costs, one 250ml bottle costs, I don't know whether I will, whether I might just buy a bigger bottle, I don't know. What would you do, guys? Would you get some more acriflavin and keep treating up to 10 times? Or would you leave it at that, treating 2 times? They look better. This fish, which has got the raised on the sides, I've probably got to do some more treatment, but the sides of it looking like it's healing now, even though there's still a bit of a bump on its side. This Shintaro Sankey. So hopefully, yeah, great, absolutely made over the moon with that. So drop your advice down there. What would you do with the acriflavin? Would you continue the treatment, or would you just, you know, or would you continue it, or would you discontinue it? Let me know down below. On that note, thanks for tuning in this week, folks. I hope you're having a good week. I hope your koi are doing well. What are you doing? What are your koi doing? Drop us down. Drop me a comment down below. And if you're a subscriber already, thanks for the subscription. Please hit the like button. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Not had no breakfast yet. Thanks for watching. Thanks from me. Thanks from the koi. These are doing bloody awesome in here. Look at those 4 beauties. Woohoo! Doing great. They're still getting hand fed. So I've said me thanks and goodbyes. What I will leave you with, look at this carnage. Look at that gap there now. So instead of paying someone to take this tree down and get rid, my lawnmower was packed up, and it's a battery one. So instead of the park side from Lidl, it was 2019. I bought it for 150 quid. It's been absolutely brilliant. Bought 2 new batteries, put it into the actual battery, the mower, and the mower just goes beep beep. So something's bloody wrong with it, and I can't get it working. So anyway, I thought, well, I've got the bloody batteries now. I paid for 2 batteries. What shall I do? Went down to Lidl, see if they've got any type of replacement, and they haven't. But I did see a couple of weeks ago in there as well a chainsaw for £49 that takes the batteries. So I thought, let me buy it. Now, it's not a mega big one with a massive blade on it, but it was enough for me to do this and take this. That's probably about 35 cm across there. So it was enough for me to fell this on my own yesterday, and I've managed to cut quite a bit of the stump out the top of it already. It did come down to here, so it fell right down to here. So I've managed to cut that off so far. So I've got a lot of shredding to do. I've got a shredder, a muncher that will munch all this old ivy up. We'll munch the rest of this up. I've already chucked 4 tub full onto the back of my garden there. I've just got to continue with this now. Grind all that down. And I've managed to cut the grass because my father-in-law bought his electric mower down, so I've cut the grass this morning. So it's a lovely spring day as well. And I need to clean this out because this is now full of... There's my muncher. So in here I had rats over winter. I had problems with rats over here every winter. So I poisoned them, and there's a dead one in here because I can smell it. I can smell it, and there's a couple of flies in here yesterday. So in there somewhere at the back of there is, I'm pretty sure, a big pump, air pump. So I've got to get that out, I think, and hope there's a plug on it, so at least I can get some air into the pond going on some air lines or something. But I'll see. I didn't really have time for that. So I was going to get this out again, with it being lovely, have some breakfast, and do that, and start getting back onto that. But now I'm searching up EA diaphragms and twatting about, excuse the language. So yeah, bye from me. Bye from Pond Indoor pond 2K1, indoor pond 5K. See you on the next one.